racing rides, people, and places. With your hosts, Brad Fanshaw, Matt D'Andria, and Aaron Hagar. New media for a new type of motorsport enthusiast.
Hey, welcome to the party, pals. This is Shift and Steer, and you know what? It's a holiday week. Everybody, I think, is already checking out because, I look at Matt and he's just, he's casual. Let's just say he's casual today. And Aaron, he hasn't shaved in weeks. He's got a full beard. And
changing the time on his watch.
Changing the time on his watch. But hey, we hope you're relaxing as you're listening to this. And hey, tell your friends about us. Make sure we still need more followers. We still need those likes, and we still need you to tell everyone about it. So please, keep supporting, and we appreciate what you do. Today, we're going to start right out with some of the biggest news in the world in the automotive scene, which was the Vegas Formula One Grand Prix. And we talked on the last episode, if you listened, about how it seemed kind of quiet. There wasn't a lot going on. And I've got to admit, guys, that kind of seemed right up to it. There was so little like promotional
Marketing
type stuff.
Yeah.
That I was sitting at home.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home and I went, "Oh, the Formula One race is coming on."
Yeah.
I
tuned
into it.
Yeah, it's over. I missed it.
And what the hell? What the hell? Your dad and Michael were supposed to go to that Formula One race. They were in town, and they didn't go. I want to know what the hell's going on there.
I think because he was playing at the halftime at the
but the Formula One was
game
before
at Allegiant.
Yeah, at the football game.
And they told me they were
around?
going to go, and then something fell through, and I was like, I think between the three of us, we could have got them tickets. I mean, come on, they're celebrities.
Yeah.
But and that's what that race, honestly, that's what that race is all about. Because you look at pit row and they run the cameras down and there's Michael Douglas and his wife and there's some rapper. It's just all about Celebrityville, it's
I thought you were going to say there's every celebrity's friend who tried to get their celebrity buddy in, but taking the ticket. I thought that's what
the guys from Shift and Steer were invited, but we heard it was going to be a little chilly. We didn't want to come, It's
and it's loud. And
they said they asked if we could fill in for one of the guys that were going to be spinning there, DJing, and we just said, well, Shift and Steer, we get a little more money than that.
Are you kidding me? They asked if we could fill in for the Three Stooges.
That's right. But the F1 was it was a good race. It was interesting and of course as we all know by now, Max Verstappen had solidified the championship and Mercedes is back, man. They've gotten quite a few wins this year, 1-2s, and with Charles Russell and Lewis Hamilton grabbing that, and it was pretty cool. What did you guys watch it at all?
Nope.
No,
I forgot.
No, it was past your bedtime, wasn't it?
it definitely was. Oh, and I guess that was a few days ago, but I don't know, for some reason, like everyone is doing some shopping for Thanksgiving and picking up food and putting turkeys in the freezer and pies in the fridge. And where we live, all in this area, power went out last night.
Man.
Till 9. It was out for 9.5 hours.
Oh, dude, that's serious.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Would you have some homeless person tap into the light pole down the street and blow it all out?
Don't know what it is yet. Don't know what the cause was, but it was out for so long. And now here, like in LA, if you have apartment complexes and stuff, when it's like fully out, like the town is dead. Like elevators don't work. Parking garage gates don't work. You can't get in and out of the gates. Like you're locked down. Like you could walk around with a flashlight, but that's about it. Like,
wow.
It was mostly throughout the night, but yeah, I mean, look, any way you look at it, like you put stuff in your fridge and your freezer, it's 30 degrees warmer than, later. Like,
don't open the door.
Yeah, I mean, of course you don't open the door, but it makes a difference.
Yeah, 9 hours is a long time. I'm not sure that unless it's some real high end fridge that stays very, very cold and sealed. I'm not sure that would pass the 10-degree threshold of it's in the red zone now.
Yeah.
After 9 hours, that's a long time.
If Matt's out next week because of food poisoning, we'll know why.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come over and have some yogurt, I've got some available.
You know what, though? You never realize it until it happens. But, excuse me, you bring that up. And I was in a hotel once where the power outage went. And you don't realize you walk outside your room and they're in a big hotel. There's no windows in the hallways, right? Yeah. And it's just, you can't see your hand in front of your face. But then the other thing I realized is you can't get back in your room because it's a key card and it's electric. And it's like, wow, everything changes. But craziness. Well, that's too bad, Matt. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I hope so too. All right, before we dig into more stuff, let me tell you guys about Bet On. All right.
I tell you what, I'm recording this coming Friday, the holiday weekend, Man Seeks Adventure with Dave Merrick. And I was thinking about creating a Bet Online account because part of our show is we're watching the Kansas City versus the Raiders. And I thought we could bet online while we're watching and doing the podcast. It'd be cool. And maybe we could win big.
We're going to bet online if the power goes out for Matt tomorrow.
We can bet whether or not the power goes out. Or you can bet whether or not the milk is still good in my fridge.
Well, you just take a taste. That's all you got to do, man.
Just take a sniff. Don't take a taste.
No. You take a taste. Sniffer's no good. If it has chunks, it means it's better.
Yeah.
Just pour it out for the neighbor's cat if he doesn't drink.
How's your caviar? Is your caviar good, Matt?
That's so good. That's all right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good,
I think the milk is cottage cheese at this point, but who knows?
Clotted milk. Not cottage cheese yet. It's clotted milk.
We were just talking about F1 and Vegas, but then the news came out that General Motors has, as they say, an agreement in principle, which means there's a lot of ironing out to do. But to be a participant as an F1 team in 2026. Now, we remember, because we talked about it, that back in January of this year, they kind of kicked Andretti to the curb when he came and said, hey, I want to join F1. I want to build a team. And they kind of said, no, you don't really bring anything to the party. I mean, how do you remember that going down, guys?
I don't.
Kind of partially. Like, I thought there was a lot happening on the Andretti team to make it happen. And yeah, a lot of sour grapes as far as it not happening. So I'm not exactly
You think
sure.
Those sour grapes were in your refrigerator and they spoiled? Or
well,
what?
They are now.
Oh, Brad had his Monster Energy drink today.
Yeah, that's right, man. No, I sold wheels already today, so I'm gonna.
That's a Rockstar. Sorry, Rockstar.
Hey, yeah, he was already hooked up with GM back then. It was a cooperative effort, but they made some changes. We heard that Andretti was stepping back from day-to-day operations of the race team, and they brought in a new guy from TWR, and that made all the difference in the world because he huddled back, and it sounds like now F1 with Cadillac will be an 11th team on the grid. And it's, originally it would have been an Andretti car with GM drivetrains, but now it's going to be a GM team run by Andretti, supervised by the new guy. And they will head towards a full works team by 2028 with their own drivetrains. And in the meantime, I guess they'll run Ferrari or Honda engines or something like that.
Yeah. So one of the sticking points was they wanted a GM engine, and that didn't fly, I guess, initially. And Michael Andretti ended up just like pissing in everyone's Cheerios. Basically, he was
such a terrible.
He was upset, and he said it.
He irritated a few people at F1, and then ultimately called them greedy for not letting him and his team and Cadillac of participating. And then he stepped aside as the head of Andretti Global, and like you said, there's another guy in charge. And I think I think that's when Cadillac might have stepped in to kind of lead the charge on this, and ultimately got it to happen. So yeah, not a lot of mention of Michael Andretti, but I'm sure behind the scenes he's very much the boss.
Yeah. F1 is amazing though. What they command, what they demand, what they tell their teams, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the cost to run an F1 team. You know, you've
Well,
seen over the years.
now. So
What's that?
Yeah, it's been capped now. So the past, I forgot however many years, but yeah, we were talking off the air. There was a time where it was $400 million plus budgets for F1 teams, but now I believe it's capped at 135 million
Per event.
I don't know if it's per event.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I mean, I would be really interested to look that up because
yeah, I don't think it's per event. I think they have an annual budget.
I mean, the salary of the driver is that much. I mean, it's the
annual budget of an F1 team is about 135 million. I think it has a cap. Forgive me, I don't follow enough F1 to know, but
well, if it's only 135 million to run an F1 team for a year, then maybe Shift and Steer can bring in a 12th team in 2026.
And this is just, I guess the cost. Okay, so the cost cap in 2026 is going to go up from the previous year, and it's going to be capped at 215 million.
Okay. So, I mean, you think they've got to fly their teams around, the cars around. I mean, it's not like even an IndyCar team where they've got, you know, transporters and they drive them around the country. I mean, they're driving all over the world or flying all over the world. And
yeah, in 2023, the cap was 135 million.
Yeah, that's what it says. Huh.
It's
interesting.
It's pretty amazing. It's and I mean, when you go to the pits and the hospitality areas, everything, they're all like, they have to be a certain way, and they're just so over the top. It's just crazy.
Yeah, certainly very, very high end for sure. And I'm sure there's still so many other ways for the teams to make money off of all of this and find ways to compensate outside of the cap, outside of the expenses, right? You could pay Lewis Hamilton, I don't know, you could pay him $8 million salary and then have some sort of bonus structure outside of the team as an ambassador, spokesperson, whatever, and build it all into one contract. Yeah. There's got to be
a free Vespa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So going back to what you're saying, Brad, it says the wealthiest of teams were spending more than $400 million per season at some point, so that they had to cap everybody to, I guess, to level the playing ground a little bit more, make it a little more reasonable. And it seems that started somewhere in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just looked up Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is the second highest paid driver in Formula One. The 7-time world champion is making $45 million a year for his base salary. That was for this year, 2024. He earned $35 million as a base before. Another $20 million in incentives is what he gets.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of Vespas.
$45 million. He's a third of the cap. I mean, right there. And
if you have a $145 million budget and you're giving him 45, you have 100 left for the whole thing. I mean,
yeah,
$100 million is a lot of money, but sounds like a pretty big
tells
chunk.
Me that every car on the grid is considered a team, not like Mercedes, and they have 2 cars, so each one spends that much. It's got to be. There's no way.
Yeah. There's got to be some other breakdown, because no wonder he's always complaining about he's got a shitty car. right? Is all I do. I watch the series. I got to say, I watch a series because it's really good. I'm not even that interested in F1. As you know, I'm just a total anti nerd. I'm just an art guy that doesn't really watch any kind of sports. But I like that F1 series. It's good, and it's a great way for me to get out my anxiety in life and everything else and sweat a little bit. I think I lose weight when I watch a show because I just sit there and sweat, bite on my nails, just pull all my hair out. I'm very well groomed at the end of the series. Yeah, it's pretty intense, but it's really well done. It's a really well done series. It's almost as good as Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Almost as good as Yellowstone. It's the
Almost
same
as
kind
good.
of vibe. Same kind of vibe. Yeah.
But they don't kill off the lead character in your show. I mean,
Well, they do in some way or another. I mean, come on. Metaphorically, we can run with that one, man.
yeah.
Might be
So
kind of
anyways,
fun.
enough about F1. We can't afford to go, let alone run a team. So, but you know what we should do is we should take a break to hear from our sponsors. Did you hear from them? Because we're back. I hope they're not still talking.
My PayPal hasn't heard from them.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, is you need to scream at the top of the lungs, keep poking that button, because the more likes we get, the more we can do this. And man, if we broke down 475 shows divided by what we've made, I think we owe them money.
Yeah. My
Anyway,
sister Samantha just started a podcast called Ass, ASS. I don't know. She's too young for me to relate to what she's talking about. I'm just rolling my eyes with everything.
so it's going really good.
But it's like she
Wait, is it butt or ass? You just said butt.
Something flying around in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? But yeah, she asked me some technical stuff a couple weeks ago about it, and I wanted to talk her out of doing a podcast and give her some statistics, but I figured I'd just let her learn the hard way.
You know what though? You never know. Sometimes
I know. I know.
Okay, I'll give you one.
I
iHeartRadio has been promoting the hell out of this one that I hear so much that it's driving me nuts. And I'm like, what the hell? It's this woman. She comes on. She goes, hi, I'm a trainer, a fitness trainer here in LA. And my podcast is about, I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to give her any promotion, but it's about, I get celebrities and I get business people, and we go for a run. And then when we come back, we're on a high. And so we talk. And I'm like, really? Really? And
it sounds like
I
everybody in her age genre would love.
And I looked, and it's like, what the hell, man? It's like, whatever.
Wait till you hear Samantha's pitch. I mean, we're going to feel like a bunch of really old guys because we're going to think, what the hell are you talking about? And I wouldn't be surprised if she's a hit. And then we have to scratch our head and go, okay, I'm really missing something. Should I just get hearing aids and a wheelchair now? Or
well, what drives me nuts is every show now, and I'm talking TV shows too, we have a drink of the day. And I'm like, wait a minute. Man Seeks Adventure did that a decade ago,
Yeah,
So anyways,
I know.
We're way off course here today, aren't we? Who's going to eat
we're talking about
this
podcasts.
week?
This is a podcast talking about podcasts.
It's a podcast. That's it. A podcast about podcasts.
Yeah.
That actually be a
There's
good
1,000
podcast.
of those already.
Are there?
Yeah,
Are there really?
Yeah.
See, what would I know? I'm just a podcaster.
I don't think there's any podcast that's left.
Has anybody ever done a podcast about our podcast, Matt?
No.
No. See,
No.
We're not even good enough to get bashed by somebody who bashes podcasts.
Oh, I'm sure there's some that have bashed us.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Changing the subject for a second. I saw.
Please do.
Moving on.
I don't know. Just the timing of this is weird, but Aaron had just posted a car for sale, and then I was just helping a friend get their car listed on Bring a Trailer. So we both got cars for sale.
Yeah. Again.
I want to talk about yours. I was a little surprised you were selling it, but so a friend, actor Nicky Cat, has done a bunch of great movies, right? Dazed and Confused, Dark Knight, Boiler Room. He put together a design company, kind of just an experiment for himself, being creative, and has some apparel, jackets, handmade things he designs, and and he kind of threw his hat in the ring with his car. He had a 2018 Ford Focus ST. And he's like, well, what if it had sort of a European influence, like a Cosworth influence to it? So he ended up taking that car, did a bunch of carbon fiber stuff on it, lightweight, reduced it, cut like 400 pounds, rear seat delete, put down the sound deadener and stuff, but rear seat delete, and gave it sort of this Cosworth British influence. And the interior is gorgeous. It's redone in like a British racing green, like kind of a green leather. And it's got like the American flag and Union Jack, like half and half, like stitched into the headrest. And anyway, it's a cool piece. It's up on Bring a Trailer. It's got all the good like emissions legal performance pieces, like the Ford Performance Tune, which adds something like 90 pound-feet of torque. You can feel it too. The torque, it's got a little bit of torque steer now, and it makes it real kind of fun. Portal exhaust, some Steeda suspension pieces. So it's fun. I've driven it. It's a cool piece. But anyway, that's up there. So if you're looking for kind of a fun car around town, or even a little track car, that's a cool piece to check out.
And you forgot to mention that he was on chips when he was 7.
Yeah, he did. So we were up in Monterey, and when we're up there, like getting the Airbnb, me and Adam Kroll and a bunch of the guys, we always try to find like a bad movie or something like that to watch. And when Nick showed up, Adam was like, "We gotta watch Chips. We gotta watch the episode of Chips." And we found it like streaming on YouTube or something.
Oh, no.
It was like Nick's like first acting gig. I don't know how old he was, 9 or something like that.
He was 7. It says on his IMDb.
Yeah. We watched the episode. It was good. Yeah,
wow.
he did good. I just saw him last night. I was flicking through the channels, and School of Rock was on. And if you guys remember the movie, when they went to the Battle of the Bands audition, and blonde-haired kid like was hanging out with the rockers, and they went out and they sat in his van. He's like, "What are you doing? You can't hang out in the van." He's like, "We're just chilling, man." That's Nick. That's Nick in the van.
That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah.
And what kind of car was it?
It's Ford. It's a Ford Focus ST. It's a 2018
Ford Focus
ST.
Which are cool little cars.
Yeah, they are cool little cars.
It's zippy, man. It's
oh yeah.
Do you guys ever think there's some cars like the Ford Focus ST or like the Honda that you'd like? I'd love to tool around in that, but maybe I'm a little too old. It's a little too racer.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
like
it's too racer.
You know?
Yeah. Even a Civic Type R, anything like that.
Yeah.
We've reached that age, Brad. Matt, do you feel that age yet? Are you there yet?
I do, but it has the big factory wing. If you get sort of the subdued version,
right.
Like
no canards. No canards.
Yeah. Like I'm down with a Subaru WRX, but when it has the big STI wing on the back, it's not really for me. Luckily,
I'd be down with a DTM Mercedes too on the street with the big wing.
Sure.
Right, yeah, that'd be badass.
Well, yeah, because then you're in a different financial bracket. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody.
But anyway, speaking of fun, lightweight, zippy little cars, you've got your car.
Yeah, so I've decided to let my 1960 Mini Cooper go. So in short, this was a kind of a lifetime chase. My late Uncle Bucky and late cousin Benny. My childhood was in Mini Coopers, early Mini Coopers. He had a 1960, I believe, and a 65 Cooper S. I believe the 1960 was black to my memory. No one has any photos. They all burned up in a fire, unfortunately. So
that sucks.
So I only have one photo of his green Cooper S with a primered front end, and him and Ben sitting on just a little shoulder on a road with the coast in the background. That's the only photo I have of his minis. But I have my memories, and I've tried to juggle around. Anyway, so I've been chasing a little black 1960, and I found one quite a few years ago with the help from my friend Colby, who's listed it for me because he's a great salesman, took great photos, and I just don't want to deal with sales. Plus, it's at his place, so he's gonna show it as well. But yeah, I decided to let it go. It's a bit of a Frankenstein. It was saved from the crusher. We had to retitle it, and it got a little tricky. So it's now a 61. It's all legal and proper, but it's a bit of a Frankenstein car. It's got a hot rod 998 motor that's bored out to 117. 1171. Anyway, it's all in the listing. It's detailed, but it's a cool car. It's just the early cars are hard to drive daily when they're hot rodded like that, because it spins the tires in third gear. I mean, it's nuts, and it's front wheel drive. The thing weighs probably 1,200 pounds, and it's got 10-inch wheels. It's got a close ratio steering box, a close ratio transmission. I've had to put race gas in it. It's just, I built a little autocross car. It's not really quite an autocross car. It's just a really fun little canyon carver. But I found that I wasn't driving it as much after I got my Mark 7. So that's a Mark 1. And I bought a Mark 7 in Tahoe from a dear friend of mine who's had a lot of health problems, and we hope that he sticks around for a while. But he graced me with the opportunity to buy this Mark 7 Mini with like 12,000 miles on it. The thing looks brand new. And I rally race that car. I've driven that car to LA. I've driven that car long distance, and it's become a daily driver. So it's off at Jet Motors right now in Oregon, and Jeremy and his crew are doing the ultimate mini build on that thing. I mean, we're talking getting it to near 100 horsepower, full suspension, exhaust, intakes. We've replaced everything to LED. It's got a close ratio shifting now as well, transmission. I mean, it's just, he's doing an insane amount of work to it, and it's getting expensive. So I thought, I love to have the bookends. I love to have the early and the late, but I don't have any place to keep this stuff. The Pinzgauer sold, so the Pinzgauer's gone. It lives in Carson City now. So happy about that. He's already got it back on the road and running. It's great. So I thought, I don't need two minis. As much as I love to relive the honor of my uncle and my childhood, I'm doing that by daily driving a vintage mini anyway. I don't need two. So we're going to let this one go. Colby tidied it up quite a bit. We're only asking just a hair under 20 grand. Obviously, people are going to beat me up on that even. It's a good little car. The Mark 1 minis, the doors come loose all the time, and you got to chase little things. This one's pretty sorted, a little bit of electrical work to get the rear fog light and stuff like that, just silly stuff. But it's a good, fun little runaround driver. It just, someone's going to love it. And I have for a long time, but I'm really trying to focus on the cars that I use and drive and equally love, so that I can take better care of the things that I have. And I don't want redundancy at this point. So we're letting it go.
So thinning the herd.
Yeah.
I've been in the car.
I've already thinned the herd. I think for that terminology, I already thinned the herd. I got rid of a lot of stuff. At this point, I'm just really trying to dial it in. This is the last thing I'm selling. No, really.
Don't even say it.
I don't need
You're going to buy something else, and then you're going to sell.
But I'm not selling anything else to buy anything else. Now, I'd like, I put the Pinzgauer money into stuff, and I want to put the mini money into this other mini and really, really get it where we want it, and let Jeremy, he's having a ball, and they're so excited because, they do a lot of old minis.
Yeah.
But even
does mini money go as far?
Yes. it's some of that stuff is wonderfully affordable.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, and some of it doesn't. So no, but I want it to have the best opportunity. It's already there, and I want to be able to say yes. We even replaced the windshield, and it's like I wanted to keep the original windshield because it has the VIN number on it out of Germany, and it had the SRS on the top, and it had some of the badging. But man, when he replaced it, I was like, wow, it was that bad, the old one? He's like, dude, I don't know how you could see through this thing without
It's amazing when you put a new windshield on anything. You go, whoa. Wow.
Yeah. And it's an OEM windshield, so it's not like a cheap one that's just going to pit and scratch. But I mean, at 12,000 miles, you should have seen the rubber balls. There's these rubber balls suspension. It looks like a plunger, and it compresses, right? And like that's your that's your spring, and it was like half. It was so compressed. It was half the height of the other one. I'm like, it only has 12,000 miles on it. How could it be?
Well, and that windshield, back to the windshield, the Mini sits so low that you get everything off the road. Man.
Yeah, true. So I'm going to PPF this one immediately and try to preserve it. I mean, a new windshield for this with labor was $500 out of pocket. That's not too bad.
No, it's about normal. Yeah,
exactly. It's consistent. But I don't want to have to replace windshields. But they addressed a little bit of rust that happened just over.
So it's for sale now.
Yeah, it's for sale now. It's just in Facebook Marketplace, and I'm hoping that League of Extraordinary Maniacs, whatever, reposts it too. I tagged them. But yeah, it's already got tons of traction. Hopefully it'll sell soon. But yeah, thank you. I get long-winded passion project.
No, it's fine. And Matt, the car that's on Bring a Trailer, when does that finalize? Do you know?
So it got posted on November 26th
of 2024.
So
when you're listening to this show in 2026, it's not there.
Yeah. It is going to end. It's a good question. So it is going to end Tuesday, December 3rd.
Oh, okay.
At about 12:30 Pacific time. So midday.
So you've got some time to bid.
Cool.
Yeah. Go bid online. Bring a trailer.
Hey, I have two other things to wrap this show up with. One of them is real positive, and one of them a lot of people might think is real negative.
Uh-oh.
And I'll let you determine which is which. So the one that's really negative, possibly, is, have you guys ever heard of a company called Liberty Walk? It's a tuner. Have you ever heard of them?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Did you hear what they're doing for the Tokyo Auto Salon this year?
No,
they're doing
crazy cars.
Yeah,
right.
They do great.
Well, they're trying to top their craziness by going to a wide body Lamborghini Miura, a real Lamborghini Miura.
Okay. Well, they did a F40, didn't they?
Yeah, but that's what this youth generation is doing, Brad.
But a Miura. I mean, a Miura.
I know, but you got to let go of the fact that nothing is coveted anymore.
Unless they found like a shell with mismatched serial numbers and not much else, then maybe you can cut it up or something. But I don't know.
I guess back in 2018. They brought a wide body Miura to the auto salon, and everybody bashed them for it because it was fake. It was a fiberglass on a GT40 kit car chassis, and everybody's like, so they dug one up. Yeah, they found one and they're doing it, and it'll be interesting to see. Their F40 looked cool. I mean,
Liberty Walk is one of the top. I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's Rocket Bike and a few others, but Liberty Walk is like that is the OG.
They do crazy stuff.
Great stuff too. And very expensive. Like if you look at their body,
you think
they are supercar prices.
Yeah. Well, they should be. I mean, customize an F40, you're starting out the base. But you know what? It's in a way, it's like when muscle cars, everything was a restore, numbers matching, and then all of a sudden Pro Touring came along and that changed the whole world. It changed the whole world.
Yeah. But if you notice the YouTube generation, I mean, I think there's two YouTubers out there right now cutting up not cutting up, but they're heavily modifying F40s. There's enough, I guess there's enough spare parts around that they're able to kind of Frankenstein them together, but
there's enough wrecked ones out there.
Well, they're getting some racing stuff and all that, so some of the LMs. But I mean, these guys are getting brave. They may or may not have the relationship that some of us classic cars guys do with these modern. I don't know, but it's definitely, I've noticed it's like there's a lot of and that may be part of the shock value of YouTube in doing some of this. But yeah, I mean,
well, let's hope they do a wide body 250 GTO, man. I mean, one of those. You just find one of those sitting around somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the YouTubers, they're getting they're getting so wealthy that they're able to afford
Exactly.
it.
They're making so much money off of this stuff.
Some of them are. Yeah, some of them are.
Okay, now for the news that I know is going to be positive, and I can't believe Aaron didn't bring it up because Aaron and I knew about this, but we couldn't say anything. But they just announced on Monday that at Barrett-Jackson, the party that they always have every year before the auction, this year will be headlined by none other than Bob Dylan and no.
I know. I was trying to think of someone really silly. I couldn't think of anyone.
Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, Joe Satriani, and I think they've got who's on the drums? Is it same guy that's been on?
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh,
I know. I'm at a. I was hoping you'd go. Oh yeah.
Come on, guys.
Sorry.
Come on.
It caught me off guard. Dad's going to be there. He's going to perform. Kenny Aronoff. Yes,
Kenny Aronoff.
My name is in his name. I should remember his freaking name. Sorry, Kenny. I'm so sorry. I do it every time because you don't look like a Kenny. It don't look like a Kenny. I got to remember Aronoff first. So anyway, and then Thistlewaite's going to be there too on keyboards and backing vocals. And yeah, it's going to be good. And Dad's going to let a car go. I guess that hasn't been announced yet, so we're going to keep.
Oh, it hasn't. Good thing I didn't say it because
I don't think it's been announced yet. We just finished discussing it. I was at the warehouse last week and kind of going through the collection and trying to conceptualize on what would be good to put there, kind of last minute. And without all the marketing, because some of these cars have such a great history, you want to market that history, or you want to put them out in the public eye and get them out there, get people excited about it. But there was one vehicle, and I thought it would really, really be the right vehicle. I told Dad, I gave him the backstory of why I think it'll be relevant. He talked to Craig, and they both just went, "That's the car." So there is a very, very special unknown, like people don't know about this car. And it's been beautifully. It happens
to be a Mini.
No, it's far from a Mini. It's
that's true. That's true. It's far from a Mini.
Yeah, but it's got a great and very special story. It's very relevant, and I think it's also going to be very relevant to Dad being there and doing what he does. I think when it's revealed, I think everybody in the room is going to be really, really. I think it's going to be a soulful sale. I think people are going to react well to it, and I think people are going to, you know what, that's really cool. And they're trying to figure out whether it's part of it's going to go to charity or how they're going to do it. So hopefully it depends on how much it goes for. Because I know restoring it was really, really expensive, and unfortunately, I started to spearhead that. So no,
it was more than it started as.
And then he's like, "Let's do leather interior and let's repaint it." And I'm going, "Okay, it's going to get expensive now." Anyway, so I think he wants to recoup some of the costs, and then anyway, he's going to figure out what to do with it. But
if you're going to Barrett-Jackson,
really excited.
Make sure you buy some extra passes to go to the pre-show. Now
definitely.
The pre-show is early, so it's it's not like part of the weekend. So just check the schedule. Barrett-Jackson's got it on their website now, and you can go check it out.
Yeah, January is the big one in Scottsdale. I'm excited for that show because that really is the big ticket show, and Dad's concerts are so good right now. Not that they haven't been, but he's really on fire. He's got a I don't know, what is he up to, a fourth or fifth wind?
Yeah, right.
Wind, but his 12th wind.
Well, he's got like the short residency in Vegas coming up.
Yeah,
and then that'll be next year.
April, I believe.
The Barrett-Jackson thing you're talking about, which will happen first, is Friday, January 17th. That is the opening gala event, what they call Rock the Block now.
Right. Cool.
Thank you. That'll be the 17th. And you can buy packages like VIP packages or just regular tickets. So you can buy some things to go to that. And then that kicks off the beginning of the auction, which is Saturday, January 18th through the 26th. They do a pretty big long auction there. So
And the tickets, I believe, I don't know if you have it in front of you there, Matt, but they range from like $85 all the way up to like $455 VIP packages. But
Yeah, but I gotta
reasonable.
say,
Pretty
yeah, I
reasonable.
was just gonna say they're very reasonable. I mean,
Mhm.
Barrett Jackson is quite a show. It really is. They call it the big show, and it really is. It's a lot of fun. Even just to walk around and see the cars and the vendors now. I can't believe how many just tent vendors there are now. Holy cow! It's a
Well, we
whole
got a
new
quarter
league.
mile building of vendors, so
I
that's great.
know.
You know,
Yeah, it's tons of stuff. And there was a lot of art and there was some really fun stuff there. A great sign maker that made the most incredible sign of Dad's LaFerrari. He's been messaging me on Instagram, and God, that thing was just gorgeous. But a lev rack was there when I was
oh
there.
yeah, they're always
Lev rack
there.
was
Yep.
there, and so we have a lot of friends there. It was pretty cool to see everybody. Go.
Yeah. You can buy a speedboat. You can buy a massage. You can buy
Yeah.
jewelry. You can buy
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, you could buy a corn dog.
Yes. And you can even buy a car there. Can you
You
believe
get
that?
funnel cake.
Funnel cake. So, all right. Hey, everybody. We're all hoping that you have a, great Thanksgiving holiday. And I thank everybody for my mental health and my physical health right now. And I hope all of you have the same. You guys got anything to thank that you're thankful for?
Yeah.
I'm thankful for 10 plus years of listeners on this podcast.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what I was going to say. I was
Okay,
going to ask
that.
you. It's been over 10 years, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We miss Pete, and we wish he was still here with us. We're thankful we got to get so close to him, and for me, a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, we've had a lot of great experiences, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I tell you guys, I don't know if either one of you had visited that new YouTube channel I put up yet, but I've just been throwing everything up there that has just been sitting in archives and stuff. And I just figured, people got to enjoy this. And so I've thrown Man Seeks Adventure. I've thrown shift and steer stuff and just stuff that I've done. And it's amazing. I forgot half the stuff we've done, half the
Yeah.
adventures we've been on. And it's so much fun, I mean, it's reliving all that. Like our very first episode we ever did at SEMA, and we have Guy Fieri and Billy Gibbons on, I mean, it was like,
and a bunch of others. Yeah. And there's audio issues, and I was learning to edit and film, and it had some technical challenges, always buying new gear and trying to figure it out. But we put a lot of time into those productions back then, and
yeah,
we really we had meetings on stuff. We were not only winging it, but also very prepared in some ways. It was a really neat experience, and we were a lot younger, so we had a lot of energy, and
and we looked so much better. No,
many pauses.
You know how we started the show with podcasts and how you just never know what takes up. Okay, of all the videos that I've gone through, like I went and some of them have been up and just sat there for years, and I've never even looked at them. And of all the videos, there's some with 2,000 views, there's some with 300 views, but then there's one that pokes out and it says 25,000 views. And I'm like, what the hell did we get 25,000 views on? And it's Dave Merrick standing in downtown Monterey. And he goes, hey, Dave Merrick from Man Seeks Adventure. And I'm here and I found Colin Yost from Saturday Night Live. 25,000 views. It's like he doesn't have Colin Yost on his video. It's just him standing under the marquee that says Colin Yost is playing tonight, and 25,000 views. I'm like, how the hell does that happen?
Well, he's playing to the algorithm without knowing
exactly
to play to the algorithm.
Exactly. But it's funny
the post I did with Hero car covers, Matt. The one with the Mini and the Morgan. I don't know what happened to that one, but I think it's near 40 or 49,000 views on
Isn't that crazy
Instagram.
how it just happens sometimes?
Like when did that happen? Yeah, doing runaround. It was
They're good
weird.
guys. Hero cover. They make some cool stuff.
They do, man. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to order a couple more covers, but outdoor. I need an outdoor cover for the Morgan and an outdoor cover for the Mini. They sent me the indoor covers, so I'm gonna buy a couple covers, and I'm probably gonna buy some motorcycle covers from them too. I think because I'm tired of looking at a gray cover when I know there's that big beautiful Norden 901 Expedition underneath it. I'd like to see it.
Do they make Aaron covers? Can you get one like for yourself? Like just
I'm sure you could, and my wife may like that better at this
there you go. There you go.
Here,
Hey everybody, we'll be back again next week. That's a promise, not a threat. So go check us out online and visit our website. And remember, always give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe wherever you're at, and we appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving.